Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Set, 280, 54, 954.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And it's fielded at the 34. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
To Hunt, 180. Hey, let's get this,
Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Here's Cousins. And he will find his man on the outside. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you've got to run fast. Of course, you've got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Middle.
From the gun, here's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
16 yards. First down, Detroit.
Ready. 250. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Man, I got you.
From the 50, it's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Complete to T.J. Hockenson.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Easy. Right there. 54. Right there.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
54.
To throw is Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Out of the gun, Stafford. A throw for Golladay is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Deron Harmon makes the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Cook. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Vikings 7, Lions nothing.
On 4th down, here's the Vikings' new punter, Britton Colquitt, to kick it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Agnew now to return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. The first down carry here for Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11th. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point good by Prater, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Flush to his right. James has got it. Complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
32. Check right 54.
Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. He's at the 50. The 30, the 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Bailey now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
180. Mike 5-4. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On first down, it's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhymed with skill.
come on.
A little bit desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the ride master now?
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Vikings first down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Cousins gives way to Cook. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run. Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another first and 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
Here we go. Here we go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a pass dumped off to his running back, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a gain of 4.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Mike, 53. Hey, Delta. Mike.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down. But, hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Now Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
First down, here's the run with Cook. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 23. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the curve, watch the curve. Slam. Watch the 50.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Jamie Collins coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Bailey's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a give, right side. Swift. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I'm coming.
Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And the Lions first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. And what's the call here? Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A 1st down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Stafford now to throw. He'll get this one to Galladay. A gain of 37. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
On 1st down at Stafford. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider.
And he loses the football a 2nd time, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, that turnover might just about do it. Here, 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of 1st downs, and this one should just about be over.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return, here's Agnew. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on 1st down, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That's good for 28 yards.
And the Lions, 1st down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a give right side. Swift. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Watch the run, watch the run.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Oh, did the Lions get it? Yes, they recover. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Monday.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And the catch made by Johnson. 4 yards on the dump-off at second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Now Stafford will come up, trying to get his guys a 2-point conversion. Throwing again at Stafford. And he's got it. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. To throw is Cousins. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now Cook. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 3, we're going.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Cook. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now You're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Watch the pass.
Throwing again. Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, here's Stafford. Now a desperation throw, and it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little, too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
So this likely just to get the final score a bit closer given the time remaining, but they'll have a go for 2 here. One last throw here for Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. But, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by